kind of a different sort of threat to the water quality, and how we can say that how this happens, like the organics are decomposed naturally in the sewage by the bacteria and by the other microorganisms, right? So the dissolved oxygen actually count or even we can say that these oxygen content actually of the water that actually depend upon the different kind of these things which actually related with the these type of stuffs. Clear? So how we can say that these organics are decomposed naturally? There are many reasons, like I had already told you, that bacteria and the other microorganisms. Clear? So that's why the oxygen content of the water is depleted. So this endanger the quality of lakes, the quality of water bodies, where high level of oxygen are required for the different aquatic animals like fish, which is found in, take the example of, I'm not talking about the oceans, but if we talk about the small water bodies, then fishes are all everywhere. Clear? So that's why the other aquatic organism, um, they just have to survive. And the one thing which I want to like share with you all, that this domestic sewage actually commonly contains some kind of negative we can say that this some kind of pharmaceutical um, ingredient in it also. Clear? So which can harm the aquatic organism. So if we really want to save our water bodies to be benefited, then what we have to do is we have to just lessen this thing. We have to just reduce the parameter to pollute the water bodies. Clear? And we are having our sewage treatment processes which reduce the level of pathogens and the organics in the wastewater. But these treatment processes do not eliminate them completely. Clear? So that's why in domestic sewage there is also one more we can say the major source which actually plant the nutrients like the nitrate and the phosphate. Clear? So the excessive the nitrate and the phosphate in water that actually promotes the growth of algae. Clear? So that's why the oxygen dissolved in the water and decline because what microorganisms use the oxygen to digest the this algae during this process of decomposition. Clear? So that's why these type of organisms they actually beneficial for the water bodies to reduce the we can say that how we have to just the things which we can use and to reduce the water bodies towards the to be polluted. Clear? The second thing which we can include in it, that is related with the solid waste. Clear? So the disposal of actually the solid waste is a major source of water pollution now in these days, and not only in India but throughout the world. There are many things we can include under this, like we can include the garbage, like documents waste also, and the trash, the construction and the demolition waste also. All these stuffs actually, the waste materials, all of which are generated by individually, generated by the residential people, the commercial institutions, the different type of institution or organism, sorry, organizations that actually um, they actually put these type of garbage in the during some kind of their activities. Clear? So why I named our country India in it, because the problem is especially to acute in developing the countries like our country due to the lack of the infrastructure to properly dispose of the solid waste, or you can say that we have inadequate wastewater from the industrial plants and from the chemical plants also, which include some kind of lead, mercury, even the chromium is also the type of these toxic waste. And the other factors which are behind this is that is I'm talking about the pesticides which are used in the agriculture land here. So and even the we can also include the sediments also in it here. So sediments is also the another type of this pollution. So sediments include many things, like it includes some kind we can include the silt in under it, which is due to the soil erosion, which is due to the construction activities, which carried into water bodies by the surface runoff. Yeah. So that's why these type of suspended sediments actually interferes with the some kind of penetration of sunlight and upset the ecological balance of the water bodies here. So it even also disrupt the some kind of reproductive cycle of the marine animals like the fish and the other form of the life here. So that's why these toxic stuff actually affect the reproductive organs of the aquatic animals. Clear? The next thing which we can include in it, that is related with the thermal pollution. Clear? So what we can consider in it, like we can say that the heat is considered to be a water molecule because it decreases the capacity of water to hold dissolve the oxygen in the solution, and it increases the rate of the some kind of metabolism of the fish here. So basically we can say that the valuable species cannot survive in water with very low level of these type of dissolved we can say that the oxygen here. So one more major source of heat is the we can say that the practice of the kind of discharging the cold, or we can say the cooling water from the power plants and from the industries into the rivers and the different type of streams.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So which things, how to define the hazardous waste?
According to me, that hazardous waste actually which harms the nature and destroys nature, means like plants and other animals, and also the non-hazardous substances are those which does not affect nature and animals and then well-being.
Very true. What is the name? Anshuman. Anshuman says bad foods is a threat to the human health or the environment. Flammable or the reactive properties. Clear. So whereas the non-hazardous waste concern, we can say that it
Yes, ma'am.